Hello everyone, X-Wall Kill Bethelite here. And I'll have to be brief today because Onyx, the puppy, he chewed through one of the cords that, go to my computer. And so I didn't get as much work done, and now I need to jump on work early today. I wanted to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and brainwashing, because the term is something we all understand, but the word itself, I don't fully understand it, because Jehovah's Witnesses don't wash anybody's thoughts or brain. It's not a brain cleansing. When you think about brain washing, the Jehovah's Witnesses brainwash people? Yeah. I like to call it brain corrupting, not brainwashing. Some of what they do is just learned responses. Such as someone says to you, hello, how are you? The learned response. You don't respond naturally. You're not going to be your natural self most of the time. The learned response to hello, how are you is fine. How about yourself? You go through a line at a cash register. Find everything okay? How are you doing today? Oh, I'm good. You could have just got hit by a meteorite. Your learned response is, oh, I'm good. For Jehovah's Witnesses, there is a learned response for everything. Now, that learned response to how are you is not damaging. It's not going to hurt you that you don't respond naturally. You just respond how you're supposed to with just that small window of your life. Just going through a register, someone says, how are you? It's not going to hurt you to just say, oh, I'm fine, even if you're not. But for Jehovah's Witnesses, learned response is your whole life is learned response. For Jehovah's Witnesses, you go to a meeting, and the whole thing about the Watchtower is it's got study lessons and questions in there. Well, there is a learned response to all of those questions. You don't get to go to a meeting and speak freely. You are to respond to study questions in a certain way. I don't know that a lot of religions do this, but every single week, you're going to go to what is called a meeting, and at that meeting, all it is learned responses. When you're asked this is what you say. When you're asked that, this is what you say. So when you're at the Kingdom Hall and someone, speaks to you, it's how are you? Oh, I'm fine. But anything that's wrong is this old tired system. This old tired system, man. This happened and that happened, but it's all this system. It's all the devil that did it, and Armageddon and our preaching work is going to fix that. Now it's interesting that learned response can carry on outside of the meeting, outside of small windows. Learned response is every day, and that's where shunning comes in. Because if you at any time act or behave outside of Jehovah's Witnesses' learned behavior, learned response, what you're taught to do and say, you'll be shunned. You'll be shunned by your own family. Your family will turn their back on you. If you at any point just talk freely, man, I didn't really like that Watchtower study. Are you talking bad about the organization? And they will turn on you. So not just around the meetings do you have learned responses, but you have learned response and behavior in your own family, in your own marriage. You can't speak freely in a lot of cases in Jehovah's Witness marriages with your husband or wife. Man, I don't want to go to the meeting today. I'd rather just do something else. No, you cannot say that. And then also, Jehovah's Witnesses are supposed to behave in a way to entice other people to join their religion. So now that learned response, behaving in a certain way, is in your family, if you're relatives of Jehovah's Witnesses, is at the meetings that you go to. You have to act a certain way and speak a certain way. And it's also in public. In public, just at work, just out and about. You're supposed to act and behave and speak a certain way, because for Jehovah's Witnesses, when they're out in the public, it's the same as them going from door to door. They're supposed to be converting people to the cult. If 100% of your day is all learned responses, learned behavior, everything you do is because you're told to do it, you're not going to be happy. And that's why Jehovah's Witnesses are smiling but not happy. That's why there's a lot of depression and unhappy people, because they can never be authentic. They can never be authentic. I was in a car with a guy that had been to Bethel, and we're in field service, and he was listening to a song that he liked. I didn't see anything wrong with it, so we're both listening to the song that we liked. Service was over. Field service was over. We're heading to the Kingdom Hall. He's listening to a song he liked. We're talking, trying to relax a little bit. Another car full of other Jehovah's Witnesses pulled next to us as we're going in to, communicate as to what we were doing. And he tried to hurry up and turn the radio down, but accidentally turned it the wrong way and turned it up. And it's like, you got to apologize. You got to apologize because you're listening to the radio. It wasn't even a bad song, but it's something that Jehovah's Witnesses would consider worldly. You could never just relax. You can never just relax. And it's not just the social pressure to act a certain way and speak a certain way, because other churches have it, but with Jehovah's Witnesses, it's worse because of shunning. All your friends and all your family will turn on you like that if you're caught doing something that may not be the worst thing in the world, but it's what they might consider worldly, or something that's not a learned Jehovah's Witness response or verbiage, and that gets around, and they'll automatically start shunning you. You don't even have to have a judicial hearing or trial or anything. Jehovah's Witnesses just think you may have done something that they don't approve of. They'll start shunning. They'll just start not talking to you. People will literally, as they're walking towards you, see you, stop, turn around, and go the other way. It's that bad. So yeah, you're gonna have learned responses and whatnot. There's no way you're going to be happy. You might as well be living your entire life with somebody pointing a gun at your head and saying, do this, do that, speak this way and speak that way. The Jehovah's Witnesses definitely brainwash people. One way they do it is, I like to say, brain corrupt, not necessarily wash, but corrupt people. One way they do it is through learned response, learned behavior. You do that you do that for years and years and years, and you stop learning how to think for yourself and just behave based off what you want to do. You start behaving in a manner where you think that's what you're supposed to do. You don't do what you want to do. You do what you think you're supposed to do. And that's not going to lead to any kind of happiness. So you guys comment down below. Let me know what you think. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.